My name is Samantha and I'm a mother and grandmother living with fistulising Crohn's disease. My name is Cerys and I'm Samantha's daughter. I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease just after my pregnancy with Cerys in the year 2000. I was initially diagnosed with ileal Crohn's disease, and then in 2013 I had my third admission to hospital for Crohn's and ended up with a ruptured bowel and peritonitis. I was given a stoma, and that's when it was identified that I had perianal fistulas. Perianal fistulas are tunnels that run from my bowel to the skin near the anus. Obviously, I was quite young when my mum was first diagnosed with perianal fistulas. We initially didn't know what perianal fistulas were. I don't think she'd even heard of them before. My condition has always been fairly complicated. It's been a 20-year learning curve. I've had harrowing experiences because of it, but it's also been enlightening. It's changed my thinking, my way of living, and how I experience life. Crohn's disease, and especially the perianal fistulas, have changed my whole life, and that, of course, has impacted Cerys. There were some dark times where life felt out of control. I've experienced recurring sepsis because of my fistulas, which is what has had the biggest impact on my physical and mental health. Mum has always been the strongest woman. Nothing can faze her. Even throughout the Crohn, she had a business and was working 80-hour weeks. But when Mum was first diagnosed with fistulas and started experiencing sepsis, I saw a massive decline in her physical and mental health. This was really hard for me. As a teenager, I didn't understand and tried to ignore my mum's condition. It became something we couldn't talk about. But when I became a mother too, something switched in my brain, and that was a big turning point for me. I was able to support my mum in a much better way. She's still living with fistulas, but now we're dealing with it together. Crohn's perianal fistulas isolate you. There's such a lack of awareness and understanding about it, and people often find it a hard topic to talk about. People don't know anything about fistulas. When I say to people, my mum has fistulas, I still struggle to explain it. People then think that if I can't explain it, it can't be that serious. As soon as you mention the word rectum or sphincter, people tend to recoil. They don't want to hear about it. My vocabulary about the condition depends on how ill I am. For example, I often don't even say to people I have sepsis. I tell them I have a severe infection. The best way we provide support for each other has come a long way over the years. We've made the best out of it. The progress has been huge. Cerys is my go-to woman. I've never really seen my mum as a patient and me as a carer. I've always seen a mother and a daughter. It's been a rough journey, but now she's thriving and I am her biggest fan. I'm following behind like, go mum, you're doing amazing. Cerys is always there for me. She helps rebuild me. I have different people who help me with different things. Cerys is my advocate. If I'm admitted to hospital, she comes to the hospital. She makes sure I'm looked after and brings supplies. However, if there are any major issues, Cerys will also call my brother for support. When Mum needs care, I'm there. That's my love. We also have a give and take relationship. When she's well, I rely on her too. She often helps me with my son. Another massive source of support for me is my older sister. I support Mum and my sister supports me. She'll make sure that I'm looked after too. We both also have close friends who we often go to for support. I'm part of an online Facebook group for women with fistulas. When I joined the group, I realised that I am not alone. Members speak without hesitation, and it's the most supportive, tolerant and compassionate community. When I met up with a woman from the group in person, we were both shuffling in our seats because of the pain from the perianal fistulas. It was a weird sense of camaraderie. My advice for other people would be to always carry a phone charger. I might leave somewhere at a moment's notice and I need to be contactable. I also have keys to Mum's house and there's always cushions in my car for sitting. My biggest bit of advice to someone newly diagnosed with Crohn's perianal fistulas is to understand that it's a journey. It can be overwhelming and painful, and you often get lost in that moment. You definitely need support on that journey. Something I'd say to others is share your journey with people. For me personally, I didn't realise how sick my mum was until she was hospitalised when I was a teenager, and it was shocking. Sometimes you can forget to tell people what is going on, but support is so important. Every detail, as tiny as it seems, matters a lot to your loved ones. You've also got to laugh. After Mum's operation, she'll go back to being herself and make everyone laugh, and it just brings everyone back to reality. I have become the master of rebooting. After those operations, I have to remember who I am. I am someone who is happy. And despite the Crohn's and fistulas, I'm grateful to my beautiful, amazing, wonderful body for carrying me through this rough time.